Hello, this is Solving Systems of Equations, Mixture Problems, Example 3. This problem is about mixing different shades of paint to get a desired shade. And the story is about mixing blue paint and yellow paint to get a particular mixture that you like, a particular shade of green, of course. And it says that your shade that you want has to be 40% yellow and 60% cyan. And what you have is 50% yellow, 50% cyan, and you also have 100% cyan. And you need to make a mixture of this that's 40% yellow and 60% cyan. And to read it over, I'm sure it's incredibly difficult to figure out what's going on here. Altogether you need 12 pints, and these numbers are very confusing. There's a lot of numbers here, and I would suggest you read their solution in the book. Maybe that'll make more sense than my solution, but both of our solutions are very similar. But I'll try to put it in as plain a words as I can. First of all, what's going on here is I'm just going to look at the cyan for a minute. What I have is 100% cyan paint, and I'm going to mix that with 50% cyan paint. And what I come up with when I mix these two is 60% cyan paint. And you might ask, well, what about the yellow? Well, if we mix this and make this come out correct, so that we take these two paints and we come up with 60% cyan, then the remainder has to be yellow. There's no other colors that are involved here, so if my mixture ends up to be 60% cyan, then it has to be 40% yellow, because that's the only thing left. So I know it's tricky, but the essence of this question, to solve it, you can just concentrate on the cyan and you'll come up with the correct percentage of yellow. So I'm going to take X pints of this cyan, that's 100%, and I'm going to mix it with Y pints of the 50% cyan, and I have to come up with 12 pints of the 60% cyan. So as usual, we take the amount times the percentage, and this amount times this percentage, and then this amount times this percentage, and that's going to be one of our equations. So let's see, 100x plus 50y equals 60 times 12. And 60 times 12, that's 720. So 100x plus 50y equals 720. And I also have whatever x is and whatever y is, that has to add up to 12. Whatever number of pints of this and whatever number of pints of that has to come up with 12. So I will have x plus y equals 12. So now I have to solve this system of equations, and let's see, I guess I could multiply the second equation by negative 50. And that way this would be 50y and this would be negative 50y. I could add them up, and the y's would disappear, and I can solve for x. So I'll repeat the first equation just as it is, and I'll multiply the second equation by negative 50, and 12 times negative 50 is negative 600. So now I can add these equations together, and I end up, this adds to 0, this adds to 50x, this adds to 120. So now when I divide both sides by 50, I get x equals approximately 2.4 pints. And 2.4 pints, so that's 2.4 pints of cyan. And to figure out how much, 2.4 pints of the 100% cyan, so I need to figure out how many pints of the 50%. And I'll use this equation, x plus y equals 12. So instead of x, I have 2.4. So this is going to be 2.4 plus y equals 12, or y equals 9.6. And this is my solution. I take 2.4 pints of the 100% plus 9.6 pints of the 50%, and that gives me the 12 pints that I need.